1, 2, 3, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it horrible? Okay. All right. I got my AirPods on. I don't know how well this is going to work. So, all right. We'll just give these a shot. All right. So, now the audio is probably going to go all over the place. 1, 2, 3. It just went to another. Oh, God. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're fine. All right, all right. Now it's definitely loud and clear. Let me lower the volume just a tad bit on the 1, 2. Yeah, I hear it's way too loud. All right, so then you know what? I'm gonna put it back to the MacBook microphone. There. 1, 2, 3. Now it's on the MacBook. Sorry, it's just in the audio. All right. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna slightly higher the decibel just a little bit. 1, 2. Last touch. Last touch. Last touch. All right, that should be good. Alrighty then. All right, no more adjusting. Let's get straight to work, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? How's everybody doing today? It is beautiful here. It is lovely here, ladies and gentlemen. We are extremely bullish today on either side of the trade that you're in, and that's what's important. It's about how to position yourself regardless of where you stand. All right, so moving into the markets real quick, I'm noticing a couple things here. We got oil still rising, pre-market, overnight markets absolutely went upwards to 110.93. It likes to do these moves to the upside and then slowly creep during the day, coming back down, and then during the day creep up little by little. So, drinking my coffee here. A lot of things to work with, a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to look forward to. Lot and lots of good stuff coming forth now. I Google absolutely killing earnings. They absolutely destroyed earnings. They are a beast, a monster, a chart. You cannot argue with this trend, right? I'm a little bit of a risk taker here. Kind of like these divergences printing on here on Google. So you do what you will with that information. SPY and ES futures Looks like ES wants to come down just a tad bit, hit at some sort of wall here at roughly 7,200. I think the main thing to consider is, what's out there, what's cooking, what's not, what's gonna bang out, what's not gonna bang out. Why do I have 3 Google charts? Jesus Christ. Okay. RTX. I have 3 Google charts, ladies and gentlemen. That's fucking funny. RTX, the little play that could. This guy absolutely is very, very interesting. I mean, this thing is making a nice base here. Hopefully it's consistent here. You can look up RTXG for the 2x leverage along. This is a obviously very risky play, but you have the relative strength well below the bear line. Slightly creeping up now, which is typically not bad, and it's at a key level area of support. So I like what I see with RTX here. Let's see if it finds a base here. If it continues holding this line. A lot of things to consider, a lot of targets to look. If you guys took a look at the video yesterday that I posted, highly suggest taking a look at that. So at the video, lot of bear setups for some potential tickers out there. Markets are extremely spies over ball territory, but that's totally fine. Markets could continue being irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So nothing to worry as long as movement is up. Keep trading the trend. Absolutely nothing wrong with trading the trend, guys. So everything looks handy dandy on SPY. Now I will say this though, it's not handy dandy when you're printing multiple bearish divergences here. So we're gonna eventually hit another divergence here, moving onward, and then let's see if this trend line is going to be sticky, especially on the 12-hour time frame. So it looks like SPY wants to continue making highs, and respect that trend. Respect the pattern presenting to you. Okay, at some point we're gonna hit another wall here. All right, and then we take it as we go. Take what you will. OCC is an interesting ticker here. We are finding a nice little interesting setup here on the 1 hour and also on the 12-hour. Look at the structure here happening. If you guys know about indecision candles or doji candles, that's actually not a bad setup, right? Not a bad setup. So take what you will with that information. A lot of good things are finding opportunities at the bottom of some charts, and obviously presenting some opportunities at the top of the charts, right? You can play the game both sides of the trade. Obviously respect the trend and always have your stop losses. Okay, Amazon, this one was on my radar yesterday. I posted this one in the video. If you guys watched the video last night, like I said, I am keeping an eye on Amazon as well. This one I haven't charted yet, but look, we printed that bearish divergence I stated yesterday, right? Multiple bearish divergences. Look at this. I said going into today, you're going to print another bearish divergence. This is a clean bearish divergence structure. Higher highs on price action, lower highs on the relative strength. Now, obviously, this depending on the price action going into today. Are we going to reject that trend line, or we're going to break out of it, right? Or we're going to break out of it and then negate that divergences, right? So this is typically what I look for when you want to potentially short certain tickers that have made all-time highs. Nothing wrong with making a little bit of money to the downside if the opportunity presents itself, right? Nothing wrong with that. So take what you will with that information. Obviously, don't try going against the trend. Always protect yourself, obviously. Look at Google here. This volatile candle. Wow, what a volatile candle. Very volatile. Looks like people are about to hit that bid real hard. Look at that. They're going to zoom it up. Zoom it. Let's see what happens overnight. I mean, once the bell hits. Extreme volatility. Wow. That's pretty impressive here on Google. That's pretty impressive. I like the setup. What else? SPY. What we covered? SPY, Google. Let's switch it over to NVIDIA and all those guys. What's going on with Irene? Yeah, you guys know IonQ, Irene, OCC. Where is the big Max 7s here? Where's the Max 7s? I didn't have the Max 7s. Hello? Oh. All right, moving on to the Max 7s here. Nvidia, Apple, we have Alphabet. Okay, market's open in 30 minutes. Excuse me, 30 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Meta absolutely getting dumpster fired on. You are catching a mean reversion play. I would not short this at all. For you bears out there, shorting the prevailing trend already. Look at the RSI relative strength here. That is not something I would look forward to. If I was a bear, I would not go into shorting this at all. No way, Jose. I stay away from fire like that. I stay away from that. So that, if anything, you should be looking to possibly position for something to the upside. Maybe, not sure, not financial advice. It can go straight to zero, or it can go back up to the 680 range, right? Who knows? All I am saying is keep an eye out. All right, market's about to open in a couple minutes. Turn it over to the 5-minute real quick. Turn it to the 5 minutes here on markets. We have 10 seconds. Market opens. I definitely would take. Let's switch it over to the indices real quick. Russell, huge upward wow, what a huge candle. All right, here we go. Markets open and now. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see if we're going to continue to pump it up. Nothing wrong. Don't you know? Pump it up. Markets are open, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move over to the indices real quick. Oil slightly rising here. Keep an eye. SPY pulling down a little bit. Whoa, market's pushing back now. Slightly pushing back here. Very nice, very nice. Let's see. Hey, oh wow, Russell, absolutely. I'm on the 5-minute, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot of volatility going. Wow, Bitcoin immediately. So a lot of things are selling off early morning. Not so much of a push to the upside yet. Wait for 30 minutes for price action to give you a heads up. So far, just monitoring the first 30 minutes of first 30 minutes here. Wow. Impressive. Okay. Let me see indices. SPY pulling down a little bit here. Oil, it's in this harmonic session here, bouncing off the C leg here on oil, 3.3 down 3.3%, but it's finding literally a nice little bounce at the 886 range, typically off of these alt-back completions. Let's see if it wants to slightly move up and get to the target price at 1975 here. New Era Energy, not sure what this is. New AI had a nice little bid here. Looks like Nvidia and Google are all selling off. Google trying to fight here. Nvidia absolutely selling off. Here. Google also trying to fight this trend. Trying to fight against this trend. Look at that. So I guess Google's going to be the savior of Jesus here. Really, really nice to see. It wants to continue onward. That's going to be impressive. Looks like it wants to double top. SPY. Interesting. Google's trying. I think it wants to push markets. It really does. It really does. It really, really does. Looks like it wants to help the market up. So I have a rule where I don't touch the markets for 30 minutes. That's my rule. That is a personal rule I like to have. Let's see if it wants to. Let's see if it wants to do something special. Look at oil slightly creeping up here. Slightly. Wow, a lot of things are looking pretty bearish. Impressive to say the least. Why the sell-off is the question. Um, Unless it's Wow, look at the VIX. It just teleported. The VIX just teleported. Absolutely teleported. Here is Google. Wow, look at the 2-minute chart on Google. Holy moly. Um, wow. Okay. Very interesting here. We are seeing now a little bit of weakness. Um, a little bit of weakness now ensuing on the charts. I wonder if something is uh, just regular flow, just regular organic flow. I didn't see anything on the tape yet. SPY. All right, so looks like it hit another top end trend line here, and it's the 12-hour pretty much reacted to that, and SPY obviously selling off a little bit. And I see Google now arrested to the upside trend and now slowly selling off here. Looks like a lot of volatility going into this morning, and thus you are seeing a huge sell-off. So I wonder if this has anything to do with the European talk earlier this morning regarding the oil that will cause eventually inflation. Oil prices running up will eventually hit consumers as time goes on. Oil prices continuously increasing. Consumers, this will hit the pockets of the people, and that will eat away from their savings. Cost of goods are going up, living expenses are going to slowly creep up. Anything evolve around oil, so goods are going to be slowly increasing as well. A lot of things are made out of oil. If you guys are not aware of, follow BlackRock on Twitter. Blonde Capital on Twitter. She has a really good segment on the the inflation shock, demand shock, supply demand shock, laggard indicators of what holding on to oil prices continuously being elevated, what this will have on the economy. So I am not an economist. I'm not the type of person to talk about this sort of thing, but it's just very interesting to see the overall what might happen in the next couple of days or weeks regarding that. All right, so we are seeing a nice little bounce here on OCC. Wow, look at that. OCC now up 7%. This is actually what we were talking about. OCC, let's fucking go. So OCC absolutely finding a nice bounce here. I absolutely love that little ticker. A little ticker that could. It's actually one of my favorite tickers. It's actually finding a base here on the 1 hour. So after a nice needed pullback, this thing absolutely now wants to hopefully start seeing some movement to the upside. So it's about time. Let's see here. Market's a little bit bearish going into today. Oil now, if you guys take a look at the bottom end of this harmonic here, oil now slowly creeping. Looks like it hit that 886 leg here. If you guys are not aware, this 886 leg, and that is nice to see that price wants to continue. Your washing machine. Oh god, yes, it is ready. Yes, the cleaning lady is ready to go. She's actually helping me here. Wow, overall markets looking good. Uno, por favor. She's absolutely, yeah, the washing machine is ready. All right, guys, so we do have a little bit of a huge interesting setup here in the overall market. OCC is my little guy that could. I absolutely love this little ticker. Let me see here. I wonder if there was a harmonic down here. 618136. Let me see if there was. I think there was, yeah. Yeah, 113 with 328. Not a fan. Not a fan of those numbers. I would have to readjust, see what happens here. Wow. So overall, market's continuously pushing down here. Here's the oversold territory about to hit on Google in the first 5 minutes. So you're going to see a nice little push back up. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, King? What's going on? You know, just playing the markets right now. Playing the markets. Obviously, SPY is selling off here. Very interesting here. Very, very interesting. Nvidia selling off as well. Yeah, very interesting setup here on the overall market. VIX increasing. It's increasing. Oil slightly pulling back a little bit, but still in a trend here. It's actually at the B leg. If you break the B leg here on oil with harmonic setups like this, guys, the odds of the completion point increases, right? Price action getting to the completion point increases. So, you know, wow, okay. So SPY, ¿tú sabes algo, Lucy? ¿Ya tú le hiciste? No quiero. Déjalo así. So once you get to the B, whoa, okay, futures selling off here. Google selling off here. SPY selling off here. I guess I'm gonna have to start charting SPY here, because it looks like the divergence actually panned out very nicely. So you know, IonQ is overall prevailing trend. Look at Amazon. Looks like the bear positioning. Looks like the Amazon, as I stated in the video, looks like we are getting those divergences actually panning out on Amazon as stated. Wow, look at Amazon on the daily. Whoa. Whoa, guys, what the hell? Wow, Amazon on the daily. Look at this trend here. Pretty toppy, huh? Wow, look at that, folks. On the daily, yeah, look at the Amazon. Wow, looks like more downside potential. Holy moly. Sound, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning. Wow, a lot of things are pulling back. A lot of things are pulling back here. Sound. Let's see here. We got IonQ pulling up a little bit here. OCC. Let me 1 second here on OCC. 1 second on OCC. I do like this little guy here. 1 second, guys. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Wow. Look at Google. Look at Google. I mean, it's literally in teleport mode. Look at Google, guys. Look at Google. Hold on. I'll get to you guys in a second. Look at Google daily chart here. I've never seen this before. Look at Google on the daily chart. I mean, you oh my God. What on earth is happening here? Look at Google on the daily chart. They're probably going to seriously push the price up again. I'm sorry. This is extreme. I've never seen this before. Wow. Look at Google. What is happening? Look at the daily chart. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so you're now going to be met with a nice little pull up here. This is what we call a bullish deliberation setup here. So if I was a bear and you're shorting, I would not, you know, risk it here. What is happening right now? This is quite literally insane. This is quite literally insane. Bitcoin now moving up here. Bitcoin now moving up. 1 second, guys. A lot of things to consider here, what I'm seeing. One second, guys. I'm sorry, just managing some. It's almost 10 o'clock. Just got to manage some trades here. Observe the market where we are now. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to understand what I'm seeing here on Google and what this generally means. Just give me a second to digest how to look at this chart. You said sound. So, hey, RTX, there you go. RTX, there she goes. Hey, RTX, again. Wow, look at that. How many more touches until it flattens out, right? So, RTX, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on RTX on the 4 hour. This is not a bad signal. Not a bad signal. This is technically a very, very good signal going into RTX. Keep your eyes on RTX. Do not fade this chart. Do not fade that chart. That is a very, very interesting setup on RTX. As a matter of fact, let me see what's happening here on RTX. RTX, that is not a bad setup, especially when you are trying to Bitcoin mine. Coño. One second, guys. One second. I just kind of dropped my coffee. Dropped my coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Dropped my coffee. That's not good. That's not good. Drop my coffee, guys. I need to be right back. My coffee just fucking fell. Just spilled coffee all over my chairs. One second. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Le puse jabón, está bien ahí. 1 second, guys. One second, just spilled coffee all over me. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry, guys. How's everybody doing so far? So Google printing a morning star, a evening star setup on Google here. Very, very interesting to say the least. Sorry, guys, I spilled a little bit of coffee. So this is genuinely what I like to see here. Keep an eye on RTX. This is now above a certain support. So the multiple touches of support adds a little bit of confluence. Keep an eye on RTX. It's doing magnificent things here. Very interesting setup on RTX. Google also finding a nice little bounce here on the 5-minute mean reversion play. Ion Q. Give me 1 second on sound. I see you. Give me 1 second. Wow, OCC now looking like it wants to make moves. Let me see the 30-minute setup on OCC. Oh yeah, look at OCC. I am not fading that at all. I am not fading OCC. OCC is absolutely screaming. Interesting setup on the charts here. Interesting setup on the charts, especially after a nice little sell-off here. Let's see if he wants to continue this market rally here. Let's see if he wants to continue this market rally. I mean, the OCC is just one of those things where it just absolutely doesn't give you, because of the low volume, right? It just either, it doesn't really give you opportunity to jump in whenever you think you, I don't know. It's just very illiquid. Look at overall market indices. Futures absolutely selling off here. SPY selling off. Oil did not break above the B leg 105, but that's totally fine. You just got to be patient with it. More than likely, things will pan in your favor. Wow, look at Amazon. Look at that sell. Let's see. Look at Google now slightly coming back up here. Let's see if she's going to print a doji throughout the day. It's going to be a very interesting setup on Google here. Look at that nice mean reversion here on Google. Wow, look at the evening star setup on Google. That is a candle here. That is a candle. That's a very impressive candle, to say the least. That's just very interesting. OCC, here we are now. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up some of these tickers that we are managing. Yeah, so looks like another bearish divergence touch on SPY going into today. Would not be surprised if we actually just get a significant pullback across the market, especially when you're just making higher highs and higher lows. You do need a significant pullback, you know, from a risk reward. Everything's a little bit too toppy for some folks to invest in. So if you notice Google here on the daily, Google is printing what we call a morning evening star potential setup. Now obviously this is a 24-hour candle. You typically want to wait for that candle to close, but notice the gap as well. This is what we call in a potential also a abandoned baby candle structure here as well. So just something to know here. OCC pulled back a little bit. Here's that pullback, and it's very large, significant, like whiplash pullbacks, because it's so illiquid. You're gonna get a nice, you're gonna get the nice pump, ejection seat, and then the nice dump. We're out, right? And what I mean by that is like it's so illiquid. It's only trading at 41,000. Like you're gonna get like massive pull-ups or massive pullbacks. And LCC, you gotta find conviction on holding tickers like that. Wow. So we're printing on SPY. Look at that. So the bearish divergence is actually panning out on SPY, especially when you see it on the 12-hour, 30-minute. You also see the pullback. Overall, I mean, this thing, nothing's technically broken. You're still in an upward channel, guys, right? It's all about how many more touches of the bearish divergences are you going to continue to print and not give us the pullback that is technically needed, all right? Because we kind of need a pullback, right? We kind of need a healthy pullback. I'm not saying a doomsday scenario. I am saying just a small enough retracement that we can get new liquidity coming into the market, right? Because if you notice here on the 12-hour, that's oscillators pointing lower lows and lower highs, and then the overall price action making higher highs and higher lows. At some point, you know, when is this going to break? So not break, again, I'm not saying market fucking correction 20-35%. I am saying just a small enough retracement where we can just healthily move to the upside. Okay, OCC Again, now printing a nice Marabuza closing candle, or excuse me, not a Marabuza, but a daily candle opening in this range. Very interesting to see here. This is a very illiquid chart. Please trade responsibly. Please trade responsibly. RTXG, look at this structure here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I like to see when it comes to price action. Finding a base RSI above the bear zone, right? And this is on the 4-hour time frame. This is a good signal to identify that, hey, there's something brewing here, especially at these lows. Pay close attention, okay? Whether or not it gives us that push, that catapult push to the upside, what I am saying is when you want to find a base on any asset or any ticker, this is what you look for, compression, right? Anything can happen. It can continue downward or we can break out. But this is what I typically look for when it comes to these sort of harmonic plays. This is a very, very risky style of trading. I don't recommend it to the people because there's a lot of risk in some cases. But when you find the absolute bottom of a structure and price continuously bouncing at a support level, in this case the 886, this is pretty much a heads up like, hey, I think we're done selling. I think we're done. Okay, I think we're done. All right, pay close attention to me because I might just pop. So here we are on Google, just skimming over. So the 1-hour time frame just printed at RSI. Oh no, that's not an RSI failure swing. Almost looked like an RSI failure swing here on Google. Really not a bad setup. Google now printing a little bit of a bearish sentiment going into the next couple of days. Obviously, it had a nice run up and it could continue onward, but you kind of do need a nice little pullback at some point. Look at Amazon here. So as I stated before in my video, if you guys watch my YouTube, we were printing multiple bearish divergences and going into today, and look how nice and neat we're getting those divergences printed. Now this is what we technically call a dark cloud cover on Amazon. Like, holy shit, this is probably this is the dark cloud cover we look for. And Amazon giving us that beautiful reversal candle. Now when you have a dark cloud cover going into the daily, we still need to close this candle. You have literally 6 hours to print this candle. So if I was a bear, I'm not positioning a short here at all. Never in my life would I print a short while the move already happened. That's not how I work. That's how you get easily destroyed, because there's 6 hours left on the day. You don't, at some point it's gonna have to trade the mean. If I go on the small time frames right now, either I'm gonna get an oversold territory and we're gonna have to trade the means, right? Look, bingo, oversold territory. That means that at some point this has to come up, hit another rejection area, and then eventually reject and then come back down or break up. But I know for a fact, seeing this sort of structure, this is not what I want to see it as a bear, right? As a bear. The move already happened. You missed the train. Shame on you. Sucks to be you. You should have done better. All right? But if you watched the video yesterday, I posted last night, maybe I kind of gave a little bit of a tell, like, hey, maybe Sammy is doing something. I don't know. Maybe Sammy was positioning this morning. I don't know. Maybe. But I do give a little bit of a hint of where I'm looking at in most cases and where I believe price action is going to end up going to. Not all the time things happen to pan out in my favor. The markets always humble us very humbles us very diligently. Okay, diligently. So I always remind myself I'm not the best. I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I can damn chart a goddamn ticker and potentially position myself for more, for a play for myself, because this is how I technically feed myself. Oh yeah, sound. I'm sorry. You were talking about sound. I'm over here hooping, hollering, and not giving you the setup. Give me one. Okay, all right, fine. I did promise you sound. I didn't promise you. I said I'd take a look. All right, let's take a look at sound On bag holding 3,000 shares of sound 820. 820? Okay. 820 sound. Oh, okay. Sound doesn't even look that bad. Sound doesn't look that bad. Really doesn't. Wow, sound doesn't seem bad at all. Right? If sound doesn't look bad at all, I will tell you this: you gotta break above that 251 EMA. Get above that, because on sound, I'm gonna give this chart to the Discord. Shout out to the Discord gang. By the way, entry fee on Discord is now $20. Entry fee on Discord is now $20. It was free. It is no longer free. I don't care if people start crying about it. We've been giving out way too many call outs, and I spend too much time giving out way too many tickers. And when I'm spending hours and hours on certain environments, and people just call out amazing setups. Keep an eye on sound, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually cooking. I don't think this is a bad setup, Mr. Edge and Edge. Keep an eye on sound. Wow. Look at sound, ladies and gentlemen. I'm putting this one on my radar. Good find, Edge. Not in the best way of, like, you were not that it was not a good find in the sense that, unfortunately you're holding a position here, but not to the upside. You're holding a bag. But the good thing is, like, hey, pay attention. This is not a bad setup on sound, guys. Whoa. This is not a bad signal. This is how you identify potential reversal setups on the charts. Actually, let me put this one on the Discord and see if people want to start looking into this one. Very good setup here on sound. I like what I see here. Left shoulder, left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder. But the right shoulder is now finding a base at a higher setup than the head, and then also on the left. That is not a bad setup going into the charts. Very, very interesting to see here. Very, very interesting to see here. Very, very nice. Okay, very nice. Amazon continuously printing. So if I was a bear, look what's happening here. As I stated before, look at the divergences going into the chart. This is not a time to position a short, not financial advice. You will get destroyed. You missed the train here, and then that's it. You're gone. Bye-bye. You broke below the center line, and that was it. That should have been a signal for some folks. IonQ, this is one that I was really talking about yesterday. So we are finding a nice little continuation pattern going into the charts. If I stated before in my video, this is a scallop formation, a continuation pattern, not the worst setup, but also you're also potentially giving me a harmonic structure. All right, you're also giving me that C leg retest to the highs, and then eventually maybe potentially give me a lower high, right? Or continue onward, blowing past this trend line and then making higher highs and higher lows, right? So this is what I look for. I'm actually going to keep this here just for a reminder so this is actually, where's my C leg here? Let me go on higher time frames. All right, so we are now printing a bat, and typically with bats we want to look for 886 high. There you go. That'll give me a potential lower high, and then maybe the short. All right, and then typically I like to look at the 86 with a 2 here, 86 with a 2, and this is now here. So let's see what happens if let's see if that ends up being fruitful. But if not, you also give me a bullish setup, right? Let's see if you want to come back up here, give me a nice pullback here, and then you also give me like a bull setup, right? A lot of things can happen, but we have to wait and be patient on certain things. We play upside, we play downside, we play all sorts of sides, and that's the beauty about trading. You're not committed to one idea, you're committed to multiple. At least that's how I trade, right? I don't marry ideas. I just like to trade the trend, because you can get easily destroyed marrying idea. But if the chart setup doesn't give you that setup, why are you going to continuously holding a bag, right? Why would you continuously holding a bag? We called it Cat Power Blue. Let's go. Hey, yeah, we kind of did here. OCC is also finding a nice little Nice little base here too. OCC is just, you know, this is just the thing. Like OCC likes to do these little pull-ups, these little backups, these little movements, these little groove plays. I mean, Jesus Christ, this chart just is really just setting up for something nice here. Here we are, Google. Here we are, Google teleported to the upside, and maybe, just maybe, it's actually gonna find a new higher high, higher low. Absolute runner of a ticker. People are taking profits at these highs as well. People are taking profits at these highs as well. Let's see if it's going to continue. If it's going to arrest to the upside. I mean, look at Google. Look at the relative strength on Google. Holy moly! Look at the daily. This thing is absolutely wrecking shorts. I mean, destroying shorts, right? If people were shorting this, it's absolutely the worst idea. If you didn't get it at the top, tippity top, the relative strength on this thing is absolutely bullish overall. The intensity of that momentum is extreme. Look at SPY. Look at ES futures. Look at oil now slowly creeping. Let me put Google. Let me put SPX down here. A lot of things are slowly creeping. Look at OCC now. What is happening here? I might actually have to start dabbling a little bit on OCC. I might actually have to start dabbling on OCC. Just a little bit. Let me see here. Yeah, OCC is pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting chart. Let's see what futures. So futures is selling off here. Yes. Wait, what happened here? Hold on, I'm looking at. Hold up, guys. What's happening? All right, here we go. We're back. All right, so Russell continuously trying to make highs. Let's see what's happening with the Mag 7s. Nvidia had a nice little sell-off. Google, it's just absolutely, it's a monster of a chart. Monster of a chart. Amazon, it's moving. SPY, showing us a little bit of a bearish indicator, continuation rally. Let's see if we want to support this bottom end trend line here. All right, support that bottom end trend line. That's a Gravestone Doji on SPY. Interesting to say. OCC now looks like it wants to make another run here. Google, you have a look at the setup on Google. Look at the relative strength on Google. Holy shit. That's what we call a abandoned baby setup and the short candle setup going into this chart. I mean, this is quite literally insane. It's in the overbought territory on Google. This thing kind of needs a pullback. Not that it necessarily needs to pull back, just you know, when companies see stuff like this, people already position themselves, and you know, they already took the trade. They're taking home profits, and they're probably going to wait for a pullback, right? Wait for a pullback on Google. You are absolutely just destroying the bears right now. Destroying the bears. Let me see the 3-day setup on. Wow, look at the 3-day setup on Google. Jesus Christ. Look at the 3-day setup on Google. Holy moly, look at that thing. Look at that thing go. Look at that thing go. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Look at the RSI. Look at that thing. Jesus Christ, you were overbought territory. Oh, wow. I just realized something. Look at that. I just realized something. Hold on. I just hope this is... it's 21 bars. It's 20 bars. Let's see if we can catch it on the weekly. Let me see. Yeah, wow. Look at that, folks. Wow. So we normally... Okay, so yeah, we just hit the 14 bar on the weekly. Wow. That is impressive. Thought I'd never see this. Wait a minute. Holy shit. I just realized something. Wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa. I just caught something here on Google. Whoa. Wait a minute. It's 29 bars. It's not relative here. Huh. Okay. Very interesting here. Very interesting here. Let me see something here. Whoa. That is interesting. 56 days, a market rally, bearish divergence printed, a correction. Now we printed another bearish divergence, 84 days market rally, right? Market rally. And at the time, the whole sweep price action was above support, right? But this is on a weekly time frame. At some point, it broke below the whole sweep, and then eventually more downward momentum pressure. But the fact that we're somewhat emanating the same timeline in terms of structure, and the bearish divergence is what I'm referring to. Nice higher high, higher low for quite some time, but this one's very significant. I mean, look at the relative strength here. This is what we call, wow, look at that. Look at this one, right? A high, a lower high, a high, a potential lower high, right? A lower high. In theory, this is what we call a RSI potential failure swings, right? Relative strength, bearish divergence, and then eventually you create the M setup, right? And this is on a weekly timeline, but the fact that you're above the RSI relative, what the fuck? I cannot believe it. That's impressive. Very impressive. Hold on, I gotta digest this on Google real quick. Hold up, I gotta digest this 1 second. I'm just catching on. I'm just now catching on. So this is a nice little flat high. But look at this, ascending channel. Right, on Google. Right? Not a bad pattern to see here on Google. Not the worst either. Not the worst. I mean, people are gonna take profits, right? Let people take profits, eat, be happy. While Google does its thing, let me start digesting the weekly on this. Yes, hey Jude. Under the plan, the United States, oh, we just hit something on the tape, guys. Something just hit the tape on news. Let me show you guys. This just hit the tape. Check out the news. I don't know how relevant this is. Under the plan, the United States would continue its blockade on Iranian ports, meaning where the aggressors, while coordinating with allies to impose higher costs on Iran's attempt to subvert the free flow of energy, according to senior administration official. Trump is weighing multiple diplomatic. Very interesting. Let me see if I can actually pull this on the timeline here. There's extra stuff here. Let me see if I can get you guys. All right, Trump is weighing multiple diplomatic and policy options to push Iran to end its chokehold on the waterway, said the official, who spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to comment publicly. Trump is weighing multiple diplomatic and policy options to push Iran to end its chokehold. All right, so we're the one blocking it, but we're also chokeholding it. I'm not sure where we're going. I'm not exactly sure what that whole situation stands on. As stated before, we continue to increase oil prices, and this is not good at all. Like, we continue to push prices to levels we've never seen before. So, oh wow, look at Google setup on the 5 minute. Look at Google setup on the 5 minute. Somebody actually pointed out a very good structure on sound. Look at Google on the 5 minute. Pretty interesting, huh? Look at Google on the 5 minute, right? 5 minute is a lot of noise. I don't rely on the 5 minute. If you're scalping, cool. You know, kudos to you. But it's nice to see these structures, especially on lower time frames or larger time frames. Just good practice, standard practice, right? Right. People took profits. People taking profits. People taking profits. Right. But on the other side of the coin, look at this candle here. Oh, that's what we call dragonfly doji. People buying into the strength. People buying. But you look at that, you're now arrested with the upside potential. All right, so let's see if Blue wants to break above this key resistance line on the 5 minute and then eventually move onward, right? Let's see on the 2 minute. Yeah, that's what we call people call this a bear flag off of this downward channel. It's just an ascending wedge. Price action making higher lows. And then you have this arrested trend line here. So let's see if it's going to continue building structure and then eventually break out, question mark, right? Maybe break out, question mark. But this selling is just people taking profits. All right, moving back to the indices. Wow, look at Meta. Jesus Christ, 10%. Talk about a fuck you moment for Meta. I mean, you're getting absolutely fucking destroyed. Look at Meta. Holy shit. Look at Meta. Teleported. Teleportation. Oh wow, look at Google on the daily, guys. Look at Google. Is that a real candle on Google? Oh, okay. I thought that was a doji. Like a dragon, a gravestone dough. It was just like extremely flat. I thought I saw that, but it's not. Just a regular short candle set up here on Google. All right. So, wow, look at Amazon. I mean, holy moly. Holy moly. Wow. Wow. Let me tweet this one cuz I literally was talking about this on let me see here. Let me go ahead and let me shill my video here. All right, guys. So if you guys didn't know this, I literally I'm just gonna post a video in the chat because you know, people don't understand about TA, how powerful TA is, right? How powerful understanding TA is. I mean, guys, take a look at the Amazon video I posted. It's in the chat. Look at the short. Look at the video. Look at what I posted. Look at as a matter of fact, look at this thumbnail. Forget about forget about all that noise. Look at this crazy ass thumbnail I made on AI. Look at that thumbnail charting. IonQ, Amazon, and Irene. Look at this. Look at that. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Look at this short. I mean, if people woke up early in the morning, you would have been up, right? You printed multiple bearish divergence. You would have been up 5%, 1x, 2x leverage bearish started puts, whatever have you. I mean, you're already down 5%. You're up 5% if you're a bear. Look at that. I got to give myself credit for that one. I kind of like that, structure. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Amazon, again, not Amazon, SPY, is printing bearish, a gravestone doji here, ladies and gentlemen. Now looking good for the overall indices as we speak. Oil pulling back a little bit here, not yet confirmed. This one's also, let me get rid of that harmonic because we failed the B leg. Typically not bad, but if you look at the overall structure, it is now forming a higher low, right? And this looks like almost what Google is doing right now, right? Google's doing right now, higher low on this setup here, what we call ascending channel, flat highs, higher low on oil, right? So you failed to break above the B leg, you printed a double top and rejection, but doesn't mean it's over yet. The trend is still somewhat intact, maybe bounce off here or eventually break down, right? You don't marry ideas, you just marry what's in front of you. All right, Russell, now moving onward here. I'm assuming now indices are now going to pull up with Russell pulling up. Let me see here. Google just holding the line still. NVIDIA, multiple bearish dips, question mark? Oh, wow, yeah. RSI failure swing, look at that. RSI failure swing on NVIDIA. RSI failure swing is in play. So if you guys don't know, it looks like they look like M's, right? They look like M's, all right? And that's the RSI failure swing. So if you saw that, well, you would have been up here. And look, you made a nice little pullback here as well. But, obviously with NVIDIA carrying the team, this is actually not a bad. Actually, that is a very bad candle. If NVIDIA closes the way it is going into today, that is a very bad candle. Now that I'm looking at this structure here, that is not a good candle on NVIDIA. Not a good candle. Let me see something here. Oh yeah, that's not good. Bearish. Eventually, fuck you. Okay. Well. Very interesting. Let's see what happens. Yeah, keep a close eye on sound, ladies and gentlemen. Very risky setup. It is a risky company. RTX. Here is our famous chart here, RTX. Now, finding another base here. This is what I like to see. RTXG. Look at that, folks. Is it finally going to break? I would argue that that is not a bad setup on RTX. Not a bad. Oh, yeah, actually. Not a bad setup. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look at RTX. Finally finding another base here at the lows. Wow, look at the relative strength now pushing onward here. Sound earnings on the 7th. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Wow, look at that. RTX. Let me see something on the daily here. Yeah, that's a good candle. Harami setup. And look at the daily here. Holy shit. You just poked your eye out. All right, you just poked your eye out. A lot of opportunities across the board here, ladies and gentlemen. Lots and lots of opportunity across the board if you rightfully see them. If you rightfully see them. RTX continues to cook here. I wonder if I should dabble a little bit. Let me see something here. The market can take a nice little flipping on its head here. Very, very nice to see here. RTX. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Very nice. Can't stop talking about it. Shout out to there's a nice little potential inverted head on sound, SOUN. Keep an eye out for that. But this is not bad, RTX. This is really not bad. Not a bad setup. Not a bad setup here. Follow your gut. Looks like RTX. Another bounce at support. Not a bad sign. Not a bad sign. Let me see what my EMAs are telling me. Let me pull it up on the daily. Are we smacking anything? Well, we kind of bounced off the 251 EMA, right? And you have a Harami setup structure here on the daily as well. All right, so that is not typically a bad sign. So the fact that you kind of opened above the 251 EMA, this is really not a bad sign, right? This is really not a bad sign. I mean, look, this is going to take, so as I stated before, this sort of style of trading takes time, right? It does take time for things to develop, right? But my style of trading are pretty much very, how do you say, in my opinion, one of the best styles of trading. This is just my opinion. Obviously, I'm going to be very biased. Because what I look for is oversold territory, absolutely companies that have been destroyed, getting clawed out. And when I see people fearing a chart, I'm the guy. I'm like a firefighter. I'm the one stepping in and asking myself, oh, so people are not buying? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna absolutely look into this. Why people are not buying? Right? Oh, it's a shitty looking chart. And then I go in and I say, oh, okay, good. Oh, well, people are not buying. I'm the one looking at a structure, potential move to the upside, and thus RTX is now one of those absolute asset tickers that I like to see here. Look how many times of multiple bullish touches at the support level, right? And look, you're touching the EMA again. Now this is 63 EMA. I want to see this reject in good faith here. I want to see this reject if it does. There it is. That's the rejection here. All right. I want to see multiple rejection. All right. Multiple rejections, especially on the 1 hour. All right. You're touching it again. Oh, actually, it's a second touch. Whoops. Second touch here. Absolute second touch here. So my style of trading is very being patient and waiting for price action to come to you. We don't chase price action. They come to us. All right. We wait for price action to come to us. All right, Google breaking down on this bearish leg here, and you know, please guys, hit the like button, hit the follow button. $20 entry to get into the Discord. It is no longer $20 entry to get into the Discord. I mean, we just give setups. I give setups, potential nice setups for you guys, and obviously I'm here to give you guys the TA, right? Here to guys support you guys. The QR code is in the bottom right of the screen. And look at Bitcoin. NVIDIA. Somebody mentioned NVIDIA. Amazon short. Yeah, Amazon is short. I mean, did you look at the video I posted yesterday? Look at the video I posted yesterday. Literally talking about it. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Literally posted last night. I mean, I absolutely love shorting, right? Look at this, right? I don't know if you can hear it. Look at this. I'm talking about it. First chart. Take a look at the Amazon. This was a bearish setup here. Literally bearish oscillator. Literally the first company I'm talking about is Amazon. And look at today, guys. Look at today. I'm not here to fuck around and find out. I'm here to give you guys opportunity. Okay? I'm here to give you guys opportunity. So very nice to see overall across the board. I even talked on Google this morning. What was it? You guys are gonna know. You guys are gonna know. Watch this. I'm gonna go on my Discord. Right? And I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna go on my Discord, guys, and I'm gonna show you something that I wrote this morning. I'm gonna show you guys what I wrote this morning. I'm gonna show you guys what I wrote this morning on Google. All right. I'm gonna show you guys what I wrote this morning on Google. All right. Literally, all I did was this. All I did was literally this. Look. All I did was this, right? By the way, I got a nice couple charts for you guys. To the Discord gang. Look at this. I mean, you can't make this shit up, guys. Look at this. Look what I wrote today. This was 8:42 in the morning. Google on the 4-hour. GGLS inverse 1x short. If you're in the Discord, you guys know when I posted this chart, you already know what you're looking for. All right, because one of the things I always preach is look at the candles. Look at the candles. Right? Look at the candles. What is the 4-hour telling you? You just had a nice rally. What do you think is supposed to happen? Right? What do you think is supposed to happen? Markets continue onward? Markets just go up only? No, there's a window where you can short it. There's a window where you can short the market. Okay? There's a window. Markets don't only go up. There's a window to short it. Okay? The opportunity presented itself all the way up here this morning when I posted it. And look at that. You're already down on you're already up on your short. Okay? So, I give people call outs. I give people the opportunity to, I give you guys a blueprint. You decide whether or not you want to push that buy or sell button, all right? I give people a blueprint of certain structures on a chart. You decide whether or not you want to push that button or not, all right? I don't give entries or exits. I will literally delete you out of my Discord. Shout out to Discord members in here. So far, you guys have been very, very good with that. No one's been giving out entries or exits. I will destroy you. I will delete you off the stratosphere if people do that sort of shit. Absolutely destroy you, decimate you. So anyway, going back to the charts here. Overall, a little bit of a sell-off going into today. Not too bad, not too shabby. People taking profits, especially with earnings. Kind of need to pull back on certain things. Are you concerned with how we'll move back? I don't use PayPal. Trading, wow, trading slick. This is nice. So Nvidia. Oh, sorry, I'm going off of a lot of things going on, folks. A lot of things going on. Managing some trades as we speak. Guys, keep an eye out for RTX, potentially a nice mean reversion play setup on RTX. Shout out to One Horse Farmer for putting this on my radar. You know who you are. I'll take a look at Nvidia. I will take a look at Nvidia. There is a nice setup on RTX here. There's a nice setup on RTX potentially here. This is what I love. I love what I see here. We kind of need a small little pullback here. It likes to reject off this top end trend 175.74. Let's see, because you also have something looming here, and this is why we always play the bull and bear case, right? We always set up a potential reverse signal or nice upward signal, right? So look at this lower end trend line. If you're not experienced enough, people would position up here and you would get destroyed, right? Wait for price action to give you a heads up or buy signal that things are ready to go. But look, you just hit another lower trend line here, all right? But you also made a nice flat base. What does this look like, right? A descending wedge, all right? Descending wedge. So wait for price action to give you a heads up. This is the difference between a guy who wants to FOMO in versus a guy who's patient, right? The market rewards patience. Wait for the signals. Wait for the breakout. Wait for the retest. Wait for things to come to you. You don't chase it. Wait for things to give you the setup for you. You right? You see this trend line. Let's say if it rejects here, you would have been absolutely destroyed. You would have been distraught. You would have been absolutely not happy. Oh, I'm already down in my position. Okay, well, that's shame on you. You got to be experienced in the market to identify when things are absolutely going to be in your favor. All right? Not everything absolutely works in absolute, right? You're going to get things wrong in the market, and this is why we play odds, right, in our favor. We wait for the setup. Google absolutely getting decimated here. I'm assuming the overall market is absolutely selling off here. Yeah, look at oil now increasing. Oil is absolutely moving. It is absolutely moving. I will chart NVIDIA now. Sorry for just had a whoa. All right, so we did have a nice setup here on NVIDIA, absolutely selling off, going into this market rally. Very nice to see on NVIDIA. Give me 1 second. I've got to take a look at my broker real quick. Sorry. I had positions on my chart and looking really good, looking really healthy here on the overall market. So just waiting for things to absolutely pan out. Now, this is a weekly chart on Google, guys. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't done charting NVIDIA. All right, so NVIDIA absolutely is what we call a bearish shark harmonic. I did chart this in the Discord, if I recall. And so one of the beautiful things about a bearish shark harmonic is that we wait for a PRZ zone. All right, and this is that PRZ zone set of potential reversal setups. Look at this. All right, and the cool things about how I trade, or how we're going to end up learning how to trade, is that we wait for the price action to come to us. And if you played the bear side on this, well, the first profit target off of this harmonic structure is at the 382. All right, it's my 382. And thus, we are slowly getting there. We're creeping in there. Okay, so I typically wait for price action to come to me. This is one of those scenarios where I just sit up and just be patient, right? What is your PRZ zone? The PRZ zone is potential reversal zones off of this harmonic completion. You wait for the candles to give you a heads up. This was typically that terminal candle I look for. Long, bearish, or bullish bars with a nice wick. Rejection, that is a terminal candle. That is why I'm patient in some of my plays, because I wait for the setup to happen. I wait for the setups to happen in my favor, okay? In my favor. Look at NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA. Absolutely crushing it, guys. Crushing it, all right? Crushing it. Okay, I do have, let me see a tip jar session. This is my tip jar. I know you don't do PayPal. Technically, you don't have to be signed up for it. I highly appreciate your donation. Might do a crypto wallet. I'm not sure yet. Wow, beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, wow, oil, whoa, oil. Now, extreme over breaking above a certain trend line here, folks. Whoa. Oil breaking above a certain trend line. Wow. You can't make this up, folks. Holy shit. Oil not looking good here. Oil continuously to rise. It broke out of this ascending channel, and thus it is now above that line. Wow, look at that ascending channel. Stated earlier, look at this beautiful setup, and look above. This is what we call an ascending wedge. Okay, so if you're looking to long positions here, I would highly be very cautious. Look at RTX, market selling off, and you're seeing a nice little push to the upside here. RTX, keep RTX on your radar. This is one for the Discord. This one's looking really, really juicy. You're above, you're finding support, continuously finding support. And if you look at the daily on RTX, people would be like, oh, it's a shitty chart. Oh, it's a shitty fucking chart. Yeah, well, you're going to get fucking destroyed not observing potential reversal setups. You're going to miss out on potential opportunity. And we do have that magic number potentially to the upside. And you know who you are. We're going to wait for this thing to cook. And it looks like it is cooking down here. It looks like it wants to cook. Look at the relative strength. Oof, above the... Oh, God, look at that. Look at that. This thing wants to pop. It wants to pop. Pippity pop. So this one, shout out. Google's continuously selling off. Profit taken, to say the least, and market structure not giving you the setup as well. Now, there is a nice little base here. What I see is it was a deep crab. That was fast. Potentially PRZ zone to the downside. Reversal. Let me just make sure it's a 127. Let me see if it's a 127, 1618. Oh, yeah, 127, 1618 is down here. Never mind. It's not a crab, it's a butterfly. 127. So there's... All right, so we can actually have butterflies. All right, butterflies can become deep butterflies. Let me make it pink because it's referencing butterflies. So we have two scenarios. PRZ zone with a 127 here. Or we have the 1618 with a 224. Right, 127, 224. We have two setups, and butterflies can become deep butterflies. Right, if you guys didn't know this, this is how we wait for PRZ zone setups as well. So let's get to the first butterfly, 1618. All right, 1618, nice little potential reversal zone, and then eventually the PRZ deep butterfly. So this is what I look for going into Google. Anyway, doesn't really matter here. We kind of set up. Wow. What's happening with SPY, indices, overall structure, Microsoft selling off. Pretty much the entire market's absolutely getting very top heavy. Futures, nice little rounding bottom formation here as well. Look at that. Interesting. Whoops. Interesting. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's see here. Wow, ES finding a nice little rounding bottom setup here. So when things sell off, things are absolutely going to come back and retest certain highs. What the hell happened here? All right, so here's that nice little push that we are seeing on Google real quick. Nice little volume candle coming in here at the lows. Very nice to see here. We'll see what happens and we'll monitor the situation. SPY, let me see the 4-hour on SPY. Absolutely not favorable. I'm not a fan of this on SPY. But again, look at SPY going into this pattern, right guys? Sound. What's happening with sound? Sound. Yeah, I'm telling you, I really don't mind sound setup. This is not a bad setup on sound. I really do not mind this. A lot of things have to pan out for this thing to actually break above. Just be patient with it. But if the market is selling off, this is not typically, this is, you gotta be patient because this is technically, is it high beta? Yeah, it's high, it's fucking 4. High beta shit. Yeah, so SoundHound absolutely is high beta. Structure looks great on the 4-hour, right? But if the market's selling off, you know, this high beta play can absolutely destroy you, right? And if you look at the structure here on the daily, on the 4-hour, this looks like a scallop. So structure is building on SoundHound. Just keep an eye out for SoundHound. Structure is building on SoundHound. Keep an eye out for SoundHound. But I like so far what I'm seeing here. It's not a bad setup, but if the market's not giving you that push, all right, well, forget what I feel. Forget the TA. It's about the overall market giving you giving you that push. So let's see what happens overall. All right, I see a lot of live chats coming in. Let's see here. We have shout out to King. Another day. Will NBTS come back to 9? I already did. Let's give some other people some opportunity. NBTS. I'll take a look at it. GLW on the reversal. Yeah, let's take a look at GLW. GLW. Let's take a look at GLW. GLW. Oh, quite frankly, never got to that harmonic completion here. Absolute banger of a ticker. This is a banger of a ticker. I would not fake shit. I might actually just put some money into this. Actually, wow, look at why did I have an 886 all the way down there? 1 second, hold up. Why did I have an 86 all the way down there? What the hell did I see? Let me see why the 886 was down there. That's a 113. Yeah, that's a 113 with a 1618. No, that's not going over there. Was I drunk? Let me see the 30-minute. Typically, oh yeah, GLW, not. Let me see here. GLW, I love this company. Let me see GLW. What's happening? Oh, yeah, this is a good reversal setup here. Nice candle structure going into the daily. Oil prices continues to elevate. OCC finding a reversal. Harmonic completion. Price action moving. Where is GLW? Guys, put this. This is absolute banger of a chart. I really do like this chart. I'm just curious what the hell was I thinking? That's a 886. Let me see something here real quick. Yeah, it's an 886 completion point. Okay, I was drawing the shark. Okay, 886. Okay, now I remember why. Now I remember. Okay, 224. Okay, I see now. Yeah, all right. So I got to, all right. So that makes a lot of sense. This is a nice shark. I'll leave it here for sake of conversations. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I do like this setup right now on GLW. Very interesting to see here. Double topping at this high at the 157.35. This is not a bad sign. Wow, semis. Very interesting here on SOX semis. Let me switch over to futures real quick. SPY real quick. Sorry. See what's happening on SPY as I chart these tickers. What I'm going to do is just slowly go through one of them and have SPY on the right-hand side. Right? And have SPY on the right-hand side so I know where we are in the overall market because I might miss out on something here. So SPY on the 15, we're going to leave SPY right here for the rest of the day. And you guys throw me tickers and I'm going to post them. I'm going to switch them in and out right here. So what I'm going to do is also to every ticker that I look at, I'm going to post it on the YouTube stream channel or maybe the members channel. Let's see what happens. Members channel. So that way moving forward, I never ever miss out on what tickers we looked at because I do need a secretary. I'm not going to lie. I'll take a look at SoFi. I'll take a look at Sound. I'll take a look at GLW, MBTS. want to take a look at everything, okay, guys? Give me 1 sec. I promise you, just give me a minute. A lot of things are happening on my radar. A lot of things are happening on my radar. All right? A lot of things are happening on my radar. All right? You caught the bottom. Very nice. I do like what I see here. I'm going to see my little baby that could. All right, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to start posting charts that we look at inside the members charting knowledge. All right, that's going to be a base case. Guys, I don't mind GLW. I really like what GLW is doing here. This is what we call consolidation phase here. Really, really don't mind the structure here. Look at that. Very nice. A part of me hopes it rejects the top end trend line here. Rejection double top here. Not I would hope, so I can possibly get one more little opportunity down here. And then maybe the breakout. I would love that because now I'm just catching this. Shout out to King Kent for bringing this one, bringing that one to my radar back in the day. Look at Google here, finding a nice push at the harmonic completion here. Nice little push. Look at that. Very nice. Now you are hopefully want to reject that center line for a continuation. Now this is all profit taking. This is typically all profit taking, right? This is all profit taking. But interesting to see here on Google that it's in a nice downward channel here. Nice downward channel. Very interesting. Very interesting here. All right, moving on to the indices real quick, seeing what's happening with oil, pushing onward. Pushing onward. All right, let's take a look at SoFi. You guys are talking about SoFi. Let's take a look at SoFi, moving back to our main chart. All right, SPY, trying to find a base here. Let's see what happens with SoFi. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you like this sort of content. I'd highly appreciate it. Whoa! Holy shit! Whoa! 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 Hey, we have a harmonic here. We had a harmonic up here. Nice. Nice. Why is it pink? Pink is only for, hit that 382, and now we're finding, oh my goodness, rejected. Look at that 382 rejection. Beautiful. That's typically what we look for. Now watch this. Just because it's selling off doesn't mean it's not finding a what? That's right. It's potentially finding a higher low. And this is why I firmly love my trading style, right? Because now you're setting me up for potential reversal zone, not only to the bear side, but now a potential bull side scenario, especially when you completed my C leg. All right. Now, obviously, harmonics are not all fucking favorable to targets always getting hit, but it's nice to see potential reversal zones. All right. Look at this low here. Look at that. Look at the relative strength being oversold, or at least inside the bear line. That is not a bad reversal signal, but for the short term, right? Wait for price action to give you another continuation run, rejection high, and then maybe make another lower high setup. So, if I was somebody who wanted to buy SoFi, I would immediately start thinking, oh wow, what a discount, right? And look at the reversal. Look at that bear line reversal. Right in there. If I were to go, oh yeah, look at the oversold territory. Look at the oversold territory. Very, very interesting to see here what's happening. Now you are getting a little bit of a mean reversion play. Wait for this thing to form what we call the descending scallops. All right, hit another high, or maybe come and break out the rejection, retest the rejection area here because he did it multiple times, and maybe another double top. Right, looks like a double top setup. Right, and then maybe break out. Or break below, right? Question mark. So, very nice to see here on SoFi. Anything can happen, but interesting to say the least. If I was somebody who wanted to play on SoFi, I wouldn't mind that setup for the upside and trade the trend, right? Short term. All right, VIX selling off here, selling off completely. Google also finding a nice little potential pullback up here as well. Nice little rally going into the day. You had a 7% day, and you know, market is pushing Google onward to the upside here. So very interesting to see what's happening with Mr. Google, Mr. Google, Mr. Google. Let me see Google on the daily here. Wow, look at that pudgy candle. Look at that pudgy candle here. Look, everything, look at the bear side. Look at what I said before. If I was a bear, I'd be freaking the fuck out. I'd be freaking out. Look at the markets now rallying. 7% VIX, the downside. Oil now pushing back into this ascending wedge, and now potentially pushing markets onward. SPX moving on. Nice little, looks like a nice little reversion, mean reversion play after market sell-off here. Market sell-off, and now indices are now rallying. All right, rallying. Google looking pretty good here. Nice little rally going into the day. Look at that sell-off. Look at that rally. Another touch of bearish divergences here. Let's see if it wants to hold it. Nice to see here. Google, run it. Google's in the look at Google, guys. Like, look at the oversold territory. Look at this on the daily, guys. Look at this thing. Look at this. That's impressive. Honestly, impressive. Honestly, it's really impressive. GLW. Let me see where GLW is. Let me see where GLW is actually. I really like. Hey, GLW absolutely breaking. Said, whoa, what's this? Quarterly dividend. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that is a setup. They're paying out dividends. That's very bullish. Quarterly dividends. Oh, are you kidding me? That's very bullish. Cornering. What the hell? That's a bullish. That is very bullish. Cornering. That is very bullish. I don't even know how. Hold on 1 second. Wow, that's 35. Oh my God. Cornering, absolutely bullish. Whoa, I didn't know that. There was a dividend? Hold up, that is not bad. That is not bad. Oh yeah, this is absolutely bullish. Let me see here on cornering real quick. Yeah, cornering. Oh wow. I mean, what the fuck are you supposed to do with this? That's a hammer. Look at that. Look at Google, guys. Look at Google. Running. Google now running. Google now running. Sell off. Like I stated before, that's sell off. Sell off. Now people are buying into the what? People buying into the movement. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, look at sound now. 2%. Sound 2%. Very interesting to see here. If you guys didn't know, there is a potential. If you guys didn't know, this is absolutely not interesting setup here on sound. Very risky here. Very risky. But overall, trade the trend, right? Look at Google now. Look at Google. Now that's becoming a doji setup on the daily. A doji setup on the daily. Let's see what happens. Absolutely monstrous day so far. Monstrous day so far. All right, a lot of things are pulling up here. Is this like a news? Let me see the Discord. Let me see the Discord. What is huh? The Discord's absolutely having a nice little challenge here. Meta kicks off 6 partners high grade depth sale after earning. Got to pay for capex debt. Now, FCF. Not sure. Google now rallying. Google now rallying. There's Google. Now looking like it wants to start making highs again. Holy moly. Yes, we I didn't see it actually. As a matter of fact, shit, I might actually get into this. I might actually get into this. This is not a bad setup. I gotta wait for. Damn, the breakout already happened, right? I already missed the train, so I gotta wait for a nice small little pullback. Maybe small, just a minute one. Just give me a better entry. God damn it! How I missed? I didn't even read their fucking the news. I don't know why the hell it was running. I'm like, okay, why is this thing running? They're paying quarterly dividends. That's absolutely fucking bullish. This is extremely bullish, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, don't fade this fucking chart. Don't fade this chart. Oh yeah, this is extremely bullish. This is extremely bullish, GLW. This is extremely bullish on GLW. Quarterly dividends, absolutely bullish. Absolutely bullish. How did I miss that? Look at the 4 hour. Look at the 12 hour. Look at the daily here. Guys, don't fade GLW. This is not a chart to fade. Do not fade GLW. This is. Let me remind people. This is GLW. King. King. Let's just say. I'm not missing out on that trade. Let's just say that, brother. Let's just say that I'm not missing out on that trade at all. So, let's, happy we're making all money together here. Happy we're making money together here. So, I'm not going to fade that chart at all. Wow. Absolutely stunning. How did I miss that? You cannot make this up. Which ticker? This is absolutely stunning of a chart here. Very, very nice to see on GLW. Very, very nice to see on GLW. All right, you are seeing a nice little market recovery here. Overall, what an announcement! Holy shit! What the hell? What are they talking about? What are they talking about? This is absolutely bullish. All right, guys. Very nice to see here on GLW. Very nice to see here on GLW. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Managing positions here. No, I'm not in WLDN. No, I'm not. I'm not. There's. You gotta remember, there's only so many opportunities out there. Let's see here. GLW absolutely running. GLW absolutely running here. Absolutely running here.
Ahora fue que yo entendí lo que tú me estás explicando.
¿Entendió?
Ahora sí.
Ellos le tumban solo.
Ahora es por eso que hace eso.
Absolutely running here. There she goes. Wow. Wait, what happened to WLDN? WLDN, what happened here? Oh, wow. Look at WLDN. Yeah. WLDN. Whoa. Absolutely having a nice day today. Having a nice rally today. Looks like the overall infrastructure play is absolutely panning out. Going into the markets. Wow. Wow. GLW is absolutely having a very, very nice day today. Just curious here. What was the announcement here? Oh God, guys, I gotta end up handling some business. I just got a crazy phone call just now. So give me some time here. I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream off. Please hit the follow button, hit the like button, and,